Hey folks, Dan Frio here with your market update for August 13th, 2024. So today was the first shoe of three shoes of fall this week. And what am I talking about? Well, we're focusing in on what the Federal Reserve is going to do. That's what we've been focusing in on for basically the last 2 years because we're trying to figure out what's going on over here, and especially with housing prices and the market in general. So today what we got was the producer inflation numbers. Tomorrow we're going to get the consumer inflation numbers, and then on the following day we're going to get the jobs report. This is all the information that the Federal Reserve is monitoring. So the report on the inflation on the producer side just came out. Let's get over to Rick Santelli, let him give this away, and then we're going to break all this down. So far today, so good. So let's get over to Rick and take it away with the breaking news on PPI, and you might even say, what is it? Well, pay attention to Rick, and when he comes back, I'll be able to put all this in a context for you guys. So take it away, Rick.
PPI for July, which hit the wires, came out at...
Okay, like I always said, don't mean to interrupt. Watch these numbers move as he's releasing the information that he's releasing. And today, like I said, we're seeing wholesale inflation prices that we're seeing right through here. So let's get to it.
Up 0.1% on headline, cooler than expected. If we look at ex-food and energy, it was unchanged. Zero, goose egg. That is the least month over month, going back to minus 0.1 in March of 23. It continues. If we look at ex-food, energy, and trade, well, this one goes the other way. Up 0.3, up 0.3.
Can't win them all.
Now, up 0.3 is the warmest since April when it was up 0.5, and last month was revised from 0.4 to 0.3. Now, let's consider the year-over-year numbers, and these are important. Year-over-year headline, 2.2, cooler than expected. 2.2 is the lightest going back to March. If you look at year-over-year ex-food energy, it's up 2.4, up 2.4. That's also cooler. Last month, of course, it was 3%. 2.4 equals April. To get cooler, you go to March. Here's the fly in the ointment. All the X's, PPI, ex-food, energy, and trade services, 3.3%. It's hotter than the rearview mirror, which was 3.1, and it moved to 3.2. This is the warmest 3.3, going back to when it was up 3.4 in April of last year. But what's notable here is in between that number and today, it was down at 2.5% in November. So this one, ex-food, energy, and trade services, is definitely warmer. The month over month is cooler. And net, we're basically right back to where we started on the 10-year, which was at 389 before the number. It got down to 385 and change. It's back to 388 and change. The 2-year moved more. 2-year was at 4%. Now it's at 398, but it did get down a little bit farther. And one real quick point, this morning we had business optimism, best since February 22 at 93.7. The problem is still well below COVID levels. Melissa Lee, back to you.
Pretty good interview. So let me cancel that out. So let's break down the numbers that he just gave. So let's get over it. Well, let's look at my chart. Here's my chart, and this is maybe a little bit easier for you guys to see. So let me blow this thing up a little bit, and you can see right through here. Here's what came out today so far. So he said producer prices were previously at 0.2. Expected to come in at 0.2, came in at 0.1. It might not seem like a big difference, but it is. Okay, and then core PPI month over month was previously 0.4, downgraded to 0.3. It came in at flat. And now here's the Moneyball number. Core year over year was 3, revised to 3, and then they came in at 2.4. So this is fantastic news when it comes to the inflation front. Now here's the thinking. The inflation now on the producer side is coming down dramatically. Look, it's almost 0%. So now the thought is that producers will start basically just flatlining all their prices, or maybe even pulling back on some things. So that means on the consumer side, hopefully on our side, the savings pass along to us. So hopefully tomorrow when we have the consumer price index right through here, the CPI, those numbers are going to start to follow suit as well, because we're going to have a whole slew of these numbers tomorrow as well. So that's what we have so far today on that front. How's the market reacting to all this? Dow Jones is up almost 300 points. S&P's up 48. NASDAQ's up another 200 points again. Let's look at cryptocurrency. It's probably doing well. Yes, it's up 300. Let's check the oil. This is on the inflation front, and it is down. Fantastic. So it's a almost a perfect market so far today. Bond yields are coming down, the stock market's up, cryptocurrency's up, and oil is down. So that's what we see so far here. Going over through here, we're going to see what's the rest of the day. What is the news so far out today? The only thing that we're waiting on so far now is Bostic, Fed Chair Bostic, not Fed Chair, but he sits on the Federal Reserve. What's he going to say? Well, what you got to understand is what person from the Federal Reserve is being represented in mainstream media each day, because it's really important, because it's what's their mentality, what's their thought process. Let me explain what I'm talking about. When you sit on the Federal Reserve, you're either considered a dove or a hawk. Some people are basically in the middle, and they'll say they're in the middle, but you really have to concentrate on what their wording is and what their policies are. So we have Bostic coming in today. So what is a dove and what is a hawk? Well, if you go over through here, basically what a dove is, they always want lower interest rates. Okay, a hawk wants higher interest rates. Okay, so let's get down through here and see what Bostic is. I'm going to move my head out of the way just for a second so you guys can see this. So here's everybody that sits on the Federal Reserve. This person's a dove, and then mostly the rest of them you can see through here. Federal Chairman Powell, Williams, Barr, Waller, Cook. Who are we looking for? We are looking for Bostic, Raphael Bostic, and he is considered on the right side of the equation. So he is considered a what? A hawk. Okay, so most likely what he's going to come out today and say is, we're still going to need a lot of information to let us know if we're going to cut rates or not. That's what he's going to say. He's not going to come out and say, well, things are looking pretty good, we might just cut rates. He's going to have a more kind of down tone when it comes to all this. So that's what's happening in the market right now. So the bond markets are liking this. The stock markets are liking this. So right now we have the MBS market up at 11 ticks. What does this mean, and what in the heck are we looking at? So this is a mortgage bond that trades on Wall Street. All you need to know about this is it's called a mortgage bond up through there, MBS. Okay, it's a mortgage-backed security. The yield on this bond is basically the biggest piece of your mortgage rate. So we have to pay attention to this. How do you understand this? Well, if you're looking at the price of the bond right through here, all you need to do is understand if the price of the bond moves up, okay, if you see some green on there, means rates are coming down. Okay, down, it goes in the opposite direction. If the prices are going down, we see rates going up. So we're up at 10 ticks right now. Not a ton, but at least we should get a little reprieve when it comes to mortgage rates now. So we might be, maybe we'll see 6.50 by the end of the day. But this is just one piece of two more pieces to come. And what are those two pieces? Again, today we got the PPI, which came in great. Tomorrow we have the CPI, the consumer inflation. And then on, I think it's Thursday or Friday, which day is that? Building permits, Michigan, U.S. Hold on one second. I'm trying to find the jobs report. I think it's on Thursday. That is true. So Thursday, we get the last piece of this puzzle. So again, today we got producer inflation, came in great. Tomorrow we're going to get the consumer inflation. And then the last piece of this puzzle is the jobs reports on Thursday. Reason why we talk about those items is that's what the Federal Reserve's mandate is. They were created for two purposes. One is to keep prices in check, aka inflation, and the other mandate was to keep things at full employment. So that's what their hopes are to do with that. So you might ask yourself, Dan, who are you? What do you do? Well, I'm just a loan officer out here trying to win your business, okay? My name is Dan Frio. I'm in the mortgage business. I would love to help you if you're out there looking to buy maybe your first house, maybe you're looking to refinance, maybe looking to buy an investment property. We also got people calling us now for reverse mortgages. Yes, we do those as well. So how do you learn more about what we do? Well, go to therateupdate.com. Here's our website. Okay, one of the things I want you to do is if you're looking to buy that first house, you got to check the grant finder up there. You got to check it. We added another component to that. There are national grants now, and there's also in the Chicagoland area, we have a $10,000 grant program for first-time homebuyers. Check and see if you can apply for that and get granted for that. But if the first step we'd like you to do is just click the Apply Now button. Don't disqualify yourself. Please set up a consultation with me, Alan, or David so we can talk to you and answer all the questions that you have. So, yes, you can call in. How do you do that? Well, you scroll to the bottom of our website. They just added this component right here. It gives you people that put in Google reviews for us. So check those out. Pretty interesting. And then you go down through here, calculators, and then there it is. There's our 800 number as well as my email address right through here. So feel free to reach out to us at 844-775-5626, or you can email me directly. Yes, it will be me at dan@therateupdate.com. Thanks so much for watching, guys. God bless. I'll be back at the closing bell to let you know where rates ended and how the rest of the day went. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great afternoon. See you later. Bye-bye.